Hello everyone, I am Sanjay Gupta. I welcome you on Sanjay Gupta Tech School. As you can see, this is day one for Appian Bootcamp, and I have Ankit with me. So, welcome Ankit on the channel. So let's start with this boot camp. And I think those who are joining this boot camp live, and if you're watching the recording as well, so you might have gone through the day zero, or we can say an overview session, maybe live or recording. So I hope everybody know what Appian is, why we use Appian, and what kind of certifications you can do with Appian, and what sort of career opportunities will be available to you. So, in these regular sessions, Ankit will be sharing all the insight related to Appian with you so that you can understand how you can build some solutions on Appian. And in today's session, he will be guiding you like how you can do some hands-on, right? So this is the agenda for today's session. So let's kick start. And before starting the session, I just want to like request you, please like follow Sanjay Gupta Tech School on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Telegram. And all the important links related to this bootcamp are available in the description. So follow proper session tracker so that you don't miss any of the session. And please share a review. So if you see here like if you share a review or feedback, so it will be helpful for us to improve the quality and the delivery method and whatever you need. So basis on that, we'll be able to improve those things, right? So with this note, I hand over mic to Ankit. So over to you, Ankit. Please share your knowledge related to Appian so that everybody can start learning Appian and start working on that. Over to you, Ankit.
Thanks, Sanjay. Thank you very much. So, in our last session, we discussed about that what is Appian, as Sanjay sir told, and about the benefits of Appian, why we should use, okay, and if or other Appian certifications and all. So today we will go in more deep, like we will learn about the Appian environment, how it works, okay, how we can access the environment, how we like end user can access the environment, how the developer can access the environment, okay, and what all components they can build, and how the application look like on in Appian. So we will learn all those things today. Okay, so coming to the first point, that is Appian environment. So Appian is a web-based cloud environment that allows developers to build and deploy applications. As a developer, you can access Appian by entering the appropriate URL in a web browser. So in Appian, you no need to install any software. If you are a developer, you can directly fill the URL in your browser, and it supports all type of browsers. Like you can use Chrome, you can use Mozilla, you can use that Edge or Apple Safari and other browsers. Okay, and once you hit the URL, so one login window will open to you in which you can fill the Appian credentials and can submit. And now you will be able to access the environment. So once log in on the environment that I will show you, you will be able to see multiple components and features that we will discuss later. But once you have the access of environment, you will be able to access all its features. Okay. Now the second point is Appian environment types. So if you are an organization or a company, okay, so in that case, Appian support both on-premise and on-premise or self-managed and Appian cloud-based environments. Okay, so in an on-premise environment, Appian is installed and hosted on servers that are located within an organization's own data center. Okay, so like the company which is using Appian, they manage the Appian environment. They do not have the support. Okay, they have their own admin to manage the environment. If there is anything that we need to upload, and also all the control they have. Now, if you can host your Appian environment on AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure as well. If you're talking about on-premise environment more, so Appian is the installed and hosted on servers that are located within an organization. So in this one, so that this type of development provides organization with direct control over their hardware, software, and security. So it is suitable for companies that have specific security or compliance requirement because they have everything on their infrastructure. Okay, so they no need to take care or know about the security and all. Or those who prefer to maintain complete control over their infrastructure. Now, come to the Appian cloud environment. So Appian cloud environment is hosted and managed by Appian. Okay, so you no need to manage anything if you have Appian's cloud environment. Everything is managed by Appian itself. You will just have get the Appian URL, okay, and credentials, so you can directly access as developer. And so in this one, this type of deployment eliminates the need for organizations to manage their own infrastructure. Okay, so like everything is taken care by Appian itself, like hardware, scalability, maintenance, everything will be taken care by Appian. And cloud deployment provides flexibility, scalability, or rapid deployment. Okay, because in that case you will have everything connected with each other. Okay. Now,
Ankit,
come
sorry
to
to
Appian
interrupt.
license.
Ankit, sorry to interrupt. Can you please turn on video? I think it is by mistake turned off.
1 second.
Yep, now. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So now come to the Appian licensing custom. Okay, that is for customers. So if an organization wants to use the Appian environment for their application, a license is typically required. Okay, so this license is required for Appian customers, not for the developers or any other Appian partner. Okay, that can be provided by Appian Corporation. So we if any of the customer want Appian environment to use for their application, then they can request to Appian sales team and discuss about their projects and all, they will get the access of Appian environment. The specific licensing terms, pricing, and requirements may vary depending on factors such as organization size, usage, requirements, and deployment options. So, like the Appian is a price-based environment. So in that one, it has some pricing, and the pricing depend on the users number of users who are using the application or Appian environment. Okay, and what like configurations they want, what deployment, if it is cloud-based or on-premise server, whatever. So on basis of that, the price will be decided, and it's on subscription module, like per user per month or something like that. Okay, so and for pricing module, you can check on this URL. So here you will get all the pricing details of Appian, like how much price will be there and all. And for more discussion, you can directly connect with Appian sales team as well. Okay, they will guide you as per your requirement, like what will be the suitable environment and what configurations will be needed for you. Okay, now Appian licensing, that is for developers. Okay, so if you are a developer working for an Appian partner company, okay, so there are some Appian partner company, like that if some company have direct contract with Appian, okay, so to provide the development services. Okay, so for that, or educational partner and all, so for that there is no need of it will provide them a demo environment, okay, on which they can practice. So if you are working as a developer for a Appian partner company, you will also have the access of that demo environment. Okay, and you can do the practice on that. You can create your own application. You can access other features of Appian also. Okay, like if you are working for a customer, okay, like for a bank, for an insurance company, then you will have the access for customer environment, okay? Because customer already if any of the customer is working on Appian, they will already have Appian environment on which they will develop their they want their application to host. So you will also work on the same environment on which client or customer want their application. If you are not working for an Appian partner company or a customer, okay, like you are just start learning of Appian, okay, and you are not working in Appian, any of the Appian company. So in that case, Appian gives the access of Appian community environment, okay, that is completely free and you can request by yourself as well. So now the next point is how to access Appian community environment. Okay, so you can request for Appian community environment by yourself. Okay, you no need to request to Appian or but you can create a request directly. Okay, from its community. To request for Appian community environment, first you need to log in on Appian community. Okay, so before accessing Appian environment, you need a community environment, or community account in Appian. Okay. So to get the community account or to access the community account, you can use this URL, https://community.appian.com. Okay. Now I can show you how it looks like. So you can see here, this is Appian community environments login page. Okay. So in this one, you can see here, we have one page that is register now. If you are already a user of Appian, so you can directly type here your email address or username and password. If you are a new user, you can click on register now to register on Appian community. Okay. On this page, you have to fill the details, like basic details only, like your email address, your password. Okay, you can confirm the password, your first name, last name, and just consent. Once you submit this form, okay, there will be one acknowledge, there will one email you will get on your email ID for acknowledgement, and once you acknowledge the request, you will have the access of Appian community. So then you can directly access the Appian community. You no need to do anything else. So this is very simple process for this. And once you have once you have active community, then you can raise the request for Appian's community environment, okay, from your profile page, okay. So on profile page, you will get one button that is Get My Site. I can show you how it looks like, okay. So this is my community page, okay. Now I do not have any community account, so it is visible to me. In right side, you can see Get My Site. I can, to get the access of Appian, to request for the Appian access, I can click on this button, okay, and it will ask me some details like select your cloud region, language.
Can you please zoom in, like Control plus, so that I think it is not readable.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, now it is
okay.
Visible. Thank you.
Okay, so so I can reload or I can. Okay, so this is my Appian community, okay, and from this I can request for my Appian community environment, like development environment, okay. So to that I have a button in right side, right, Get My Site. I can click on this button, okay. This will show this basic details, like on which region you want to access the Appian, okay, language, and what is the region to access, okay, to Appian environment, okay. So you can select the appropriate details and agree on the terms and can submit the request, okay. This is all you have to do. Then Appian will review this and will give you the access of Appian environment. So you will get an email by Appian with your environment URL and your temporary username password. So you can just fill your URL that is provided by Appian on your browser and fill your username password to get the access. Okay, that's all you have to do to get the access of Appian environment. But it takes about 7 to 10 days, because Appian first review your request and then process the request. So generally it takes 7 to 10 days. It's depend on like how many requests are there in Appian's queue. Okay, so this is all you have to do for to get the access of Appian community environment. This is just the page that we just check. In this one, you can see here we have this is community.appian.com page. From here, you can click on the sign in register page. Once you click on the sign in register page, you will have the option that we just check, where you can fill the sign in details or registration details. And this one also we checked. Okay, from here, this one you can get the access. Now come to the Appian interfaces. Okay.
So Ankit, there is one question. Priyanka is asking for learning which community edition we select.
Yeah, so for learning, there is an option, okay, in this one, in region, you can select here. Like you can select the region India, and in this one, you can select like, that there will be no option. I'm experiencing with the app development or new feature, you can select this one, okay, to get for learning purpose.
Okay, I think Priyanka, this is the answer for your question. Yeah, so I think we can go ahead, Ankit.
Oh, thanks. So Appian interfaces, okay. So we can Appian can we can categorize Appian interfaces in two parts. One is end user interfaces and other is developer interfaces. End user interfaces are generally okay for business users who will access the application, okay, and work on that application. They do not require any coding, they do not know any coding, and also they won't have the access of Appian coding environment, but just the application, okay, that they want to use or that we are building for them. So Appian provides the user-friendly interfaces to interact with applications. So in one environment, for a customer can build as many as applications they want. Like if I have one Appian environment, so I can develop 10 applications, 20 applications, or any number of applications that I need to develop. Yeah, and this can be accessed through web browser or mobile devices both. Okay, so Appian have one app, app market application also. From there also you can access the Appian on Android mobile or Apple, okay, or app market. And in this, this end user interfaces are generally to user to perform their tasks. Tasks like that they can create a request, they can complete their assigned task, they can review their request, or they can check the records. If there is any reports, they can see, or they can check the sites and all. Okay, so this is all for business users who are the real users. Who want to use the application. Now, the second interface type, that is developer interfaces, or we can say designer interfaces. So these are generally for developers or designers who develop the application, like who code into the application. So generally, what they need like that coding platform or coding interfaces and all. Okay, they need to deploy the application from one environment to other environment. So for that, they will be needed of the option to deploy the application. Okay, and to manage and configure Appian environment. Like if I want to change the branding of Appian environment, if I need to create users in Appian, new users in Appian. Okay, or if I need to connect with database, then all these things are like that to manage the whole environment. So these are can be done from admin console. So I can show you how it look like. Second. So this is Appian's developer environment. Okay, that you can see here. So from here, that you can see here there are multiple applications are already we have. Okay. And if you can also develop your application. You can use any of the features that is provided by Appian. Like you can see here, you can create new application. You can import existing applications. There will be some components. that you can create from here. You can see the objects. You can deploy the application from one environment to other environment from this option, and then you can monitor the existing processes, or that which are already running, or requests which are already running. So this is overall that a high level view of designer or developer environment that Appian provides. So we will read learn about each and every topic or each and every component feature in our regular sessions. Okay, so we will learn everything in deep. Now this is that this is the designer interface. To access that end user interface, we have multiple options that we will learn. Like one is tempo, that you can have the access, and I will show you how does it work. And then there will be some sites and all. So we will read about this one by one. Okay. Now come to the end user interfaces that we discussed just now. So first one is tempo. It provides 4 type of end user interface. First one is tempo, second is sites, third is portal, and fifth is embedded interface. So tempo is the oldest Appian user interface. That is like a default user interface that is provided by Appian. So its overall look and feel is that provided by and set up by Appian, so we cannot change. From this one, user can access multiple sub interfaces or interfaces like actions. Actions is that if I want to create a new request or perform new action, then we can use Appian actions. Then tasks. If some tasks are assigned to me, like someone else is assigning me a task, I can complete the task from here. Then records, like that if I created a request or if I raise a request, like I can say, like if I'm filling HR form, or I can requesting for a job, so I will fill the details. So that details which I'm filling is action. Because I'm taking the decision first time. Then HR, it will assign to HR. So for HR it is a task, right? Records, like if I can see my details at any time, like my request details anytime from a view or read only view, that is records. So from records I can take the decision on that particular request as well. Like I can edit the request, or I can close the request, or I can take other decision. Reports are like the charts and all that is related to multiple objects. So like we can create metrics, we can create different type of graphs to to check the performance of a company, like how many requests are raised, how many requests are on this particular status and all. So this type of activity we can perform on tempo. So I can show you how tempo looks like that piece now. So to access the tempo, you have to just go to this web file menu in right, and you can click on this one. Here you can see we have 5 tabs on top. News, tasks, records, reports, and actions. So actions are to create a request. New request. Reports are to check the matrices or charts and all that we can check from reports. Records, we can check our create requests which are created by us or which is created by anyone else. We can check from here. If any of the task is assigned to me, I can check from here. And from news, it is for social collaboration, where I can post something, I can kudos something, or I can comment on any other post. It is similar functionality that other social platform have. So this is about tempo. We will read about this deep in next sessions, but this is like high level view that how it look like. Now come to the second, that is sites. So sites is that for a particular application, In Tempo, I cannot see my particular application, right? These tasks are visible to all of the application. Actions are for all of the applications. Security apply here as well, but we cannot, we cannot differentiate with applications. Okay, so this is not dedicated to a particular application, but a particular environment or particular, client or customer. Now, sites is particular for a application. Okay, so in application, like we can set the branding, like the particular application will have this particular branding that we can set. Like this particular application will have this 5 or 6 interfaces that we can define here. We can define that particular security, and everything is dedicated to a particular application. So sites are more related to a particular application, and how these are looks like. To access the site also, you have to go to this PEPL menu, and you can see here all of the sites which are built already on this environment. Okay, so you can access any of the sites from here. Like this is just a demo site, you can see. So this is site. From here you can access different forms. This one have only one form, but if there are multiple forms, multiple tabs, you can see from here. You can access, you can take the actions on those forms and all. So this is more about sites. Now third is portal. So sites and Tempo are both, you need to Appian credentials. Okay, so portal is a new interface that is provided by Appian in latest version only, like 1 year back only. So in this one, this is for public users. Okay, so Tempo and site you can only have access by login on the environment. You have to you will be need of your username and password. Okay, and those are chargeable for a customer. Okay, but sometimes customer want a public page as well, right? Like if I want to create design application for text related application that any of the person from a country can access. Okay, so this type of applications Appian provide the portal. Okay, so in portal you will have just a URL. You can fill that URL in browser and you can access that. There will be no any login credential. It will ask. There will be no any login credentials. Screen will come and it will simply open to you. Okay, so this is for unauthorized or public users who do not have any Appian credentials. But yeah, it has some limited functionality, not as sites have. Okay, but it it can it is also connected with Appian Appian designer only. So from where it can get the data, you can save the data. Okay, now fourth is embedded interface. Okay, so in Appian, like suppose I'm creating one report in Appian, I'm creating one created one action in Appian, and I want to show that report, action or interface on my public port, I can say on my company's portal that is not developed in Appian, that can be a HTML site or something else or built on the different technology. That also we can do. So we can use any of the Appian component, okay, in other portals as well. You have to just put some simple command, okay, and you can access those interfaces outside of Appian also. Okay, for that also you will be needed of single sign-on. Okay, because it works, or it also needed username credentials. So if your portal or your HTML page have the access of it, have the single sign-on, and Appian also has single sign-on, it will work. Okay, now come to the Appian interfaces for developers. So those all interfaces were for end user. Okay, there was no any coding, and anything. Just Appian customer can have the access and can use their applications on these 4 type of interfaces. But to develop the application, or to design the application, develop the application, Appian provided some designer interfaces as well. Okay, like interfaces, user interfaces from where user can, we can create some type of component. We can use some type of component. We can create a grid. We can create forms and all. So for those, we can provide interfaces. Other is like business rules. So sometimes we need logics as well, right? To get the data from database to to perform some calculations. Okay, for those we are needed business rules. Third is like process modeler. So process modeler like workflow. So Appian Appian is a process management tool. So it works, it provides the functionality to create a workflow from where like one step to how it perform from one step to other step. So all steps are connected. Okay, that we can develop using process modeler. So later on we will learn about this these components more, but yeah, this is overall. And then admin console that we just learn that it provides the administrator functionality to branding of your Appian environment, to create the users, or to like another to connect with database, and many more features is provided. Okay, so how it look like, I can show you. So designer, you can go here, waffle menu, and you can have the access of design. Okay. So from this, you can see here, we have multiple applications which are already built. Okay. Now, from here, you can see the admin console. You can go to admin console from here, and you can see here in left side there are lot of features Appian have. So this is first is for branding. So you can set the branding colors, font and everything. Okay, and there are many more like the file upload, internationalization languages, mobile permissions, plugins. That okay. So these have lot of features that and Appian admin can configure from here. Okay. We will read about this in our coming sessions, because this is just a high level. Okay. Now, one more thing that I want to show you here. Yes. So you can see here to check the objects, we can go to objects tab. Okay, and we can filter out. These are Appian components, or that features, or that we can use to create a application, and all are connected with each other. Okay, we will learn about these. So like there are some connected system, AI skill, constant, we can create data store, data types, decision, document. Okay, so there are a lot of components we have. Okay, to create an application, we will be needed of these components. Okay. Now, one more thing, like that Appian's proprietary language is Shell. So Appian works on Shell language. So whatever code you are writing, okay, in Appian, like to if you are creating an interface, or if you are writing something, so that we is Shell language. Okay, Shell language is like self-assembling interface layer. Okay, so Shell allow developers to create responsive and interactive UI. So in this one, that you no need to you can develop application code once, and you can use anywhere. You can use on mobile, you can use on laptop or desktop, or any other size of your systems. So you no need to take care about like how different code for different systems and all. It is already responsive. So you have to just write one, and you can use that code anywhere. Okay. Now, Appian users. Okay. So we just check like we can create Appian users from Appian admin console, right? So mainly Appian, divide its user in two types. one you can see in top, that is Appian system administrator, and other is Appian basic users. Okay, so like if I'm an end user and if I just want to access of that an application or tempo or site, okay, or okay, so for that I will be a basic user. So basic user will not have the access of designer. Now I can see, I am able to see this designer because I'm not a basic user. Okay, I'm a system administrator. But if I'm a basic user, then this admin console or database or like uh, designer link, I won't be able to see. I can only see the site or tempo. Okay, and these are also as per the security. So if I have the security of one application, then I can see only one application here or one site here. I cannot see other sites. So everything is on based of security. Okay. Now come to the Appian system administrator. So system administrator is like a super user for Appian. Okay, this is generally for developer. Okay, who is developing the application. So system administrator have the access of whatever access basic user have. Okay, like system administrator can also go to tempo, can check the tempo, can go to any of the site, any of the application. There is no any security works on Appian system administrator. Okay, and additionally to that, Appian system admin have the access of designer also. Okay, so administrator can develop the application. Okay, can use any of the feature of Appian. Okay, any of the components of Appian and can develop the application. Okay, so for that Appian have system administrator. To create the Appian users, you can go to admin console, that we just check, and from this tab you can create. Okay, so in this one you will be having the access of create user. Okay, and from there you can select if it is a basic user, if it is an administrator user, and you will be having the you will be having the access to create the user. Okay, and then once you create the user, so in that user will have so for that user you can create the temporary password, or you can put it blank, so that any of the that user will get an email with the temporary password, and that user can access the Appian environment with the help of the temporary password, can change the password by themselves. Okay. Now Appian application package. So Appian application package is like a collection of artifacts or collection of components that we built, or a developer built for a particular application. Like some of the constant I created, some of the user interfaces I created, some of the business logics I did, some integrations I used. Okay, so this is like a collection of those artifacts, or like the container of those artifacts that is come under the particular application package. Okay, so we can to create the new application package from Appian designer interface. You can go again to the designer. So you can see here, these all are application packages. Okay, this like POCV is one application package. This D mockups is one application package, and every application package have some components that you can see from here. Okay, so you can go to this build and you can see. Okay, so these all are artifacts that is built for a particular application. To create a new application, what you can do, you can click on this new application. Okay, so you have to just type the Appian application name and description of the application, like I can say contains And you can see here the prefix is already, built, come from Appian. So it selected like initials of this text. So Appian's A and training's T, but you can change. So all of the artifacts that we will create in Appian will follow this pattern only, that all of the artifacts will start with AT. Okay. Now you can see we have one checkbox here. Okay. And in this one, you can see here generate groups and folder to secure and organize objects. Okay. So some objects are required. So Appian automatically can also create those artifacts, or you can create manually. So if you click on this checkbox, Appian will automatically create those groups and folders. Okay. And you no need to create those by yourself. Or if you uncheck those checkbox, so Appian won't create, and you can go and you can create by yourself. Okay. Now I can click on this create button, and it is asking for security. Okay, that we will read, learn in next sessions. But I can explain you in a high level that you can see here. These are Appian groups. Okay, custom groups that we will discuss. Okay, and Appian groups are like, you can say, a group of users or a department. Like, that in a company we have IT department, or finance department, or that sales department. So groups are something like departments. Okay, and every department have multiple users, different users. Okay, so groups are also collection of users with some properties. Okay, so to secure a particular application, to give the permission, to set the visibility, we use these groups. Okay, and there are different level of security also, like data viewer, editor, administrator, that we will read. Okay, but these are the security levels that we need to set whenever we are working on any of the Appian artifact. Okay, now you can see here this application package is created, and from Appian given a pop-up screen from where you can create any of the artifacts like new records, new process model, new site or portal that is suggested by Appian. Okay, and you can use any of this template. Okay, now I can close this one, and if there is already created record, process model, connected system, any of the components you can see from here. Okay, and you can access from here. Now you can go to build interface, and you can see all of the artifacts related to this application. Okay, like these are artifacts that is created by Appian itself, because we selected that checkbox. Now if you want to create a new artifact, you can go to new, and you can create the artifact. Okay, like data type, data store, record type. There are multiple type of components that we will read, but from here you can create any of artifacts which is needed for an application. Okay, like if you want to create a group, you have to click here, and you have to fill some details. Okay, and it will create the group for you. Okay, and you have to set some properties. And if you want to create an interface, you have to just click on here, and you have to fill the name. This that initials are already coming, and you have to just type the name, description, create, and it will you will be able to create an interface from here. Okay, interfaces we will read in next session. Okay, but that's how we can create an interface. Okay, or so from here we can create any type of component that we need to create for a particular application, for a particular requirement. Okay, so that we can create from here. Like we can filter out of the objects as well. Like if I want to filter out all the data types, I can filter out. If I want to filter out any of the group, I can filter out from here. I can filter out any other artifacts also from here. Okay, and if I want to check the artifacts which are modified by some any of the user, I can just type his or her name, and I can filter out the particular user's artifact, or I can filter out the artifacts by date also. Okay, the like modified date on which that particular artifact is modified. Okay, so this is the application, and this application can have n number of objects or artifacts. Okay, that we are creating for a particular application. So if you are working on any of the application, you have to first create the application package. Okay, this is the starting stage in Appian. If you are working on any of the application, okay, then you have to create artifacts, okay, which are required for that particular application. Okay. Now come to the next part, that is Appian's database connectivity. Okay, so you know that we discussed now, just that few slides back, that Appian provide two type of environments, like, or one is Appian cloud environment and second is on-premise environment. Okay, so Appian, we have Appian cloud environment, so Appian provide us the pre-built MariaDB database with itself, okay, with environment itself, okay. So you can see here, this is Appian, Appian cloud environment, okay. So you can see here, I have database access also, okay. So I can access the database from here, okay. And because I'm a system admin, so I have access. If I'm a basic user, I cannot have. But Appian provide the pre-built database, so you can use this database also, okay, that is provided by Appian. Now, but if you do not want to use this database that is provided by Appian, and you already have some database that you are using, like you are using MS SQL or Oracle or other relational database, you can use, okay. So that you can also use, and for that configure that additional database, you have to go again to admin console, okay. And from here you can see we have one data source option in left side, right? So from here you can access the data source and you can add new data source, okay. So data source is nothing but just that the connection between Appian and database, okay. So from here you can type the name that you want to give to the particular data source. You can select type. So Appian support these many database, okay, like Aurora MySQL, SQL, DB2, MariaDB, MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, okay. And in this one you can type the connection string of that particular database and username, password, okay, and you will be able to connect with that particular database. Okay, so as many as data source or database you want to connect, you can connect. So cloud environment have one pre-built MariaDB database, and we can configure or connect additional relational database also. That is also very easy to connect. Okay, and once you have the access of the database, you can create your tables, you can create view or any other database related artifact, and those artifacts you can create call in Appian by some Appian provided components, okay, that we will discuss. Now come to the on-premise environment. So in on-premise environment, Appian do not provide any pre-built database, okay. You have to add your relational database only in this one. Okay, you have to take that particular database on your server, and from the server you can check the connection string, and you can configure the connection string in same way that we are doing in cloud environment. Okay, so other things are same, but you won't have Appian's cloud database in that case. Okay. Now come to the Appian app market. Okay, so that Appian provides app marketplace, okay, where you can find pre-built components, so or integrations or solutions, okay, that has been developed by Appian community, like any of the Appian partner or Appian developer develop the application or that component, or some accelerator type of small applications, or some complete solutions, or any of the plugin, okay, or any of the other component, they can post on Appian's app market, or anyone can access from anyone can have the access of that artifacts, or those applications, or those components, those integrations from the app market. So to get the access of Appian app market, you can use this URL, and you will be having the access of app market. So in app market, once you hit this URL, it will open something like this. In that one, you can see here. Okay. So I can log in. Okay, I can access this by clicking on this link as well. Here you can see all of the applications are there that is uploaded on App Market, and you can read about any of the application, and you can schedule a demo, because some of the applications are are free, some of the applications are paid, some of the applications you can directly download. Okay, but for some you have to connect with the development, that company or team, and you can schedule a demo from here. But you can check the features, okay, all of the features from here of that particular application. You can see the the interfaces and all that is uploaded by that company, and you can check the the author or the compatible version also of Appian industry and all. Okay, and you can check here cost is paid, so that means this application paid. Okay, you have to pay something for that one. But some of the components, plugins, okay, which are free and cloud approved, so you can directly use those components wherever you are required in your application. And if you do not have any, because Appian provides some out of the box features as well, out of the box components, but in any of the requirement that is not fulfilled by the out of the box features or components, you can come here and you can check that any of the plugin that fulfill that particular requirement, and you can have the text, and you can download that particular one. Okay. Now, so that for community environment access, okay, you can directly request by yourself. Okay, and please fill this Google Forms as well. It is you just need to fill your basic details only. Okay, so know that we will get the request from you, and we will get Appian environment, and we can provide you the link. Okay, whenever we have, like, it will generally take 7 to 10 days. So once we have the access, so we can provide you the access of Appian environment, so you can practice on that environment. Okay, so you have to just fill the details. Okay, just your basic details as soon as possible. Okay, so that you know that then we can check and we can provide you the access of Appian environment. Okay, and we are now open to discussing posted query that you are already posted, and if any of the queries that you have in future, please feel free to share any queries or questions. You can do email us at the below email ID that is provided here. Okay, and you can comment on YouTube videos as well. So over to you, Sanjay sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ankit, for this detailed insight and for your help. Like this Google form link I already shared in the chat, and those who are live and listening this thing, and those who are watching the recording and listening. So if you feel any doubt, any problem, so you can just reach out to this email ID, or there is a Telegram group link which is available in the description of this video. So I'm just sharing that link here in the chat as well, so that if you have any question, any query related to this thing, so you can ask those in the Telegram group. So I'm unable to paste the Telegram group link in the chat. So it is available in the video's description. It is available in the session tracker as well, right? So Ankit, there are two questions. So first is from Sai Venkatesh. He is asking any limitation, like only these databases can be connected, or Appian support only few. So he says further, like, or any database from market can be connected in on-premise mode.
Yes, so Appian supports some of the database. Like Appian, generally support the support relational database, and in relational database also it supports some of the database that you can see here. Okay, so Appian support all of these database like DB2, MariaDB, MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, and Aurora MySQL. Okay, so Appian support this all type of database.
Okay, so we have one more question. Anchit is asking, will you give us the access or do we need to request?
You can also request. Okay, first you request and share the details. Okay, so we will also provide if you have the access, like if you are getting the access in 7 to 10 days, so you can use that, or sometimes it takes time also for you. Okay, so if it is taking more time and if you have access before, so we will provide you. Okay, because we have to start that practicing as soon as possible on this, so we can do both.
Okay, so guys, if you want to request, like you can go ahead, and if you have any issues, so you can just fill this Google form, and still if you have any issues, so you can reach out to Telegram group, right? And you can just send an email to that email ID which Ankit showed earlier. Yeah. So I think there are no more questions. Yeah, one more question is there. So only relational databases are supported in Appian.
Yes, on the relational database.
Yes, Anchit. So only relational databases are supported. Okay, so I think this is it for today. So thank you, Ankit, for sharing this insight to everybody. And I think those who have joined this session live and those who will be watching the recording, so they will find this day one session very fruitful. And once we'll be having the instance created, so they will be able to do some practice as well. So we'll be having one more session tomorrow, right? So right now what we are doing, we are keeping 2 sessions in a week, so that like once you will be having some instance ready for practice, so that will also be helpful for you, right? So tomorrow also Ankit will be sharing some insight with you, so do watch that session. And it would be better if you join sessions live, because if you join sessions live, then you will be able to interact us with us directly, and Ankit will be able to answer your queries. And if not possible, then just go through the recording in whatever time zone you are, whatever time is comfortable. And still, if your question is not answered, so you can reach out to this email ID lowcodecornermentor@gmail.com, or like Telegram link is available in the description. So there is one more question, Ankit. Manish is asking, which programming language is required to build application?
So Appian have its own proprietary language, that is cell language. So you know everything you will develop on that particular cell language only. You no need to
It is
require any other language.
SAIL, right?
Yes, SAIL. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, self-assembling interface layer. Okay, so it's Appian's proprietary language that is owned by Appian itself.
Okay. So I think Manish, your question is answered. So, yep. So thank you, Ankit, for giving this insight, and thank you for sharing your knowledge. So maybe we'll be coming live tomorrow, same time. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining this session, and those who are watching the recording, thank you to you as well.
Thank you all everyone.